This is Nick with Build Brothers Roofing. Started my digital inspection out here in Coronado at 950 B Street. This particular unit is 952. This is a two-piece Spanish clay roof here. This is a wire suspended roof. The purpose of these inspections is really just to give an idea about what the overall condition is of the roof itself, get an idea of how much life there is left in it, and see if there's anything that we can do to prolong the life expectancy of it. Now, on a clay tile roof like this is a beautiful product, but it is very, very fragile. And whenever you get on it, there's a high likelihood that these tiles are going to break, so I am not going to be climbing on this particular roof. We can see we have one cracked tile right there that I'm pointing out, so that should be repaired. We have another one right here as well. As far as the rest of the tiles go, I don't see a whole lot of cracked tiles on the rest of the roof. Everything looks to be in pretty good shape. We do have some flashings that could use some work. You can see the original mortar flashing has come off that vent. Same thing over here on this property or this unit. That is the 950 unit. I'll get on the other side of it just to get an idea of what we're working with as well. But you can see that a lot of those flashings are going to need to be redone in order to ensure proper waterproofing. But you can see that the mortar caps underneath the ridge, those are all still in really good shape. That is all stuff that we like to see. The other thing that I want to point out is the underlayment. Now, for this particular roof, again, we can see that everything is attached with the wires. Now, this underlayment is a torch down material. This is meant to last. So as far as the condition of this roof goes, you know, as long as these tiles don't they stay in good shape and somebody isn't walking on this roof to break these tiles, this roof should last a long time. That particular material that is underneath this tile, again, is made to last, so I don't suspect that there are any problem areas on this roof. My biggest concern would be the flashings around all those penetrations and going ahead and fixing some of those broken tiles that we pointed out. I'm going to move over to the other unit and continue this inspection. Okay, here we are on the second part of the inspection video. Now we are on the 950 unit over here on B Street. This one has a few more cracked tiles. You can see one right there, another cracked tile right there, and then we have another one over here by the chimney. I'm going to go ahead and hop over to that section soon, just get a closer look on it. But this is the same type of roofing system that we have. We got a wired two-piece clay tile system on this roof. Same materials that's being used for the underlayment, which comes in that torch down modified vitamin roofing material. We do have drip edge that is present, but you can see being so close to the ocean, a lot of it is corroded. So again, my biggest concern with this roof is always going to be the underlayment, because the underlayment is what's actually protecting this home. This type of material, when exposed to the elements, is typically going to last around 20 years. But if it's covered by this clay tile, you're going to get a lot more life out of it. Again, the biggest concern with this clay tile roof is just how many broken tiles you end up getting on it. So just from this section alone, I see at least a minimum of 3. Now, if those tiles are going to be fixed, just know that there are probably going to be more tiles that are broken during that process. If the home is going to be tented anytime soon, a lot of tiles are going to break in that process as well. So it'd be a good idea to have the roof inspected after any other work is done on this property. Same condition as far as the mortar under the ridge caps go. We have all original mortar flashings around the penetrations. Those seem to be in pretty good shape. Here's another one right here, but you can see that it is starting to deteriorate. So during a roof tune-up, what my guys will do is just ensure that all the penetrations are properly sealed. We can add some sealant to it, make sure that all these broken tiles are taken care of, and just really looking to prolong the life expectancy of the roof. I'm going to go ahead and work my way over to the other section of this property. Okay, here we are on the other half of Unit 950. Over here on B Street, you can see we have that big cracked tile right by the chimney. I noticed a few other cracked tiles, one right here. We got another one right here. Looks like there's a couple more that I'm missing. But then we have another one right here, and this is a good one to see just what can happen when that torch down material that is on this roof is exposed to the elements. So this has been cracked for quite some time, and you can see how this material has just completely eroded from being exposed to the sun. Now when it's underneath the clay tile, yeah, it'll stay in good shape for a while, but as soon as these tiles start to break, that's when we run into a lot of issues. Now, just based off of the way that this roof was installed, the age of the material, I mean, I would say this roof is at least 30 to 35 years old, especially considering we have the original mortar flashing on it. And the material that's used underneath it. But again, this is really, the condition of this roof is really going to be determined based on how strong and how good of a job the homeowners do as far as keeping the material with the clay tile in good shape and making sure that they're not breaking. All right, we're gonna wrap up this inspection over here at 950. So this is a separate building on the property as well. Unfortunately, I did not have the right access to be able to get up to this portion of the property, but all these roofs are all in the same shape. I can see we have the same underlayment underneath this roof that we had for the other two, but you'll notice that this has a bit more damage on this side. Could have been a tree branch that fell, but it exposes that torched down material that was used as the underlayment, and you can see what happens again when that material gets exposed to the elements over the years. Any type of roofing material, especially when it comes to the underlayment at this age, is going to last anywhere from 25 to 30 years. Anything you get on top of that really is just extra, right? So if this roof, which I'm assuming is over 35 plus years of age, then it would be a good idea to be proactive when it comes to the replacement of it. You can see that a lot of the wood has started to rot along the shiplap. We've got some rotten rafter tails as well, and this is just old wood that's been there for a while. You can see some of the wood rot that we have also. Wood repair is always an unknown variable when it comes to any roofing project, so we won't know how much wood needs to be replaced until we actually tear this roof off and see what's underneath it, but you can see just how aged all that is. So in conclusion, to wrap this up, this roof will be as good as the tile is. Essentially what I'm saying is that as long as the tile stays in good shape and there isn't anything that is just breaking all the tiles on a consistent basis, then we can get some life out of this roof. But based off the age of the roof, the fact that it is 35 plus years old, I would highly recommend that the homeowner be as proactive when it comes to the replacement of this roof and the maintenance of it. We can go ahead and perform a roof tune-up just to go ahead and provide a little bit more life expectancy from the roof, where we come out, fix some of these tiles up, redo some of the penetrations, make sure they're sealed properly, check for any other problem areas. And that will again just give the roof a little bit more life, to give it a few more years until the homeowner is ready to go ahead and replace. But again, this is an old roof. It's at least 35 years old. Any 35-year-old roof, the homeowners need to understand that it is at the tail end, the very tail end of its life expectancy. That's it for my inspection.